Ladies and gentlemen of the Republican Party, ladies and gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen of America, I am here today to accept an honor few receive. I am here to accept the nomination for the office of Vice President of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. I am here to help usher us into the next great American century. Yesterday, at our Open Republican Caucus, I was unofficially announced to be the running mate of Marco Rubio, the esteemed senator from Florida. Today, I officially accept that position with great happiness for the future of this country. Senator Rubio is a principled man and one who is ready to lead this country to years of success and prosperity. I am honored to be his running mate. And while I do accept this nomination, I do not believe it shall be easy. This election comes at a difficult time for all Americans, rich and poor alike. We are coming out of the greatest economic slump since the Great Depression. Our country is facing trillions of dollars in debt, while our economy is becoming less competitive in the global market. Our students are being pushed out into the real world, owing outrageous amounts of money without the opportunity to earn fair wages. Federal regulations on everything from the environment to business to drug use are too high and will only increase. Across the oceans, our interests are in danger. Hostile groups in Africa, Asia, South America, and the Middle East threaten the freedom and millions of lives. Human rights atrocities are committed daily by governments and terrorists around the world. It will take a strong military presence to effectively neutralize these groups and bring peace back to these war-torn areas and security to the United States. I will bring my extensive legislative experience to these problems. I have several years of political experience in the Senate, during which I have served on several different committees. I have consistently pushed against federal government interference in areas that should be left up to the states, unnecessary regulation, and taxation of the people. Marco Rubio and I plan to address not only these issues of pressing importance, but also many others with a proven, bipartisan, and balanced approach. Senator Rubio's vision is one of American greatness and economic prosperity, one of military strength and international respect, of affordable, useful education and the protection of states' rights. He is the strong and driven president that this country needs if it is to be transformed into a country that will be proud to pass on to our children. He is the president who will usher us into the next great American century. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, questions?
Mr. Sanders expressed his willingness to compromise by choosing Jeb Bush, and Secretary Clinton has told us that she's willing to compromise on foreign policy issues. In what specific areas are you, as a team, willing to compromise?
I think the main area that we are willing to compromise on would be foreign policy. I have expressed before that I am in favor of only sending in our military might where the problem addresses or affects the United States. Senator Rubio and I disagree slightly on this topic, but I think that we can come to a very good compromise on foreign policy. I am willing to compromise.
And another topic on which we would compromise with the nation as a whole is on the environment, protecting the environment. As I have expressed in debates and in interviews, I have altered my views on global warming and the effects that we have on the environment due to new evidence and due to my concern for the American people.
Senator Rubio, this question is for you. You were recently called out for bashing Hillary's campaign for using music and dancing as a distraction from the real issues. Does this not apply to your rap career?
Well, again, this is a unfortunate misunderstanding, and a misunderstanding of misfortune. Because that's simply not what I did. When I made that statement, I was simply warning the members of my party not to support Hillary and her policies simply because of the goods she provided to them. I did voice my support for that benefit. I did say that I was sadly not able to make it to that benefit. And I did in no way bash her use of treats and music and whether they're drinks or cocktails or something, I don't know. So, no, it's simply a misunderstanding to say that I bashed her benefit. It was only a warning to America and to the Republican Party that we should focus on truly the merits of a candidate and not what they are willing to provide for us materially, but what they will provide for our country.
How are you going to deal with Rand Paul's libertarian views, especially on issues such as the NSA scandals and the criminal justice reform? That could
Well, like the other candidates, we are always willing to compromise on important issues like this.
Well, I was going to ask how you planned on appealing to younger voters, but then you started rapping, so I guess that answered my first question. So the only logical follow-up question would be, is it possible that we may be seeing a single in the future? Maybe on iTunes?
Well, I'll leave that up to the American people.
We have some blue snowball mics and a little bit of time if you want to comment.
I'd be happy to.
Senator Sanders and Secretary Clinton have both said that they want to raise the minimum wage. How are you guys planning to address this? Like the minimum wage?
Well, of course, my stance is that raising the minimum wage, at least to an extreme extent, such as $15, as Mr. Sanders has proposed, would not help our economy. Both of us are more in favor of lowering taxes and creating a freer market free from government regulation. I believe the line was lowering taxes and reducing regulation. And that, we both believe, will be better for our country as a whole. But again, we understand that this is a time where compromise is crucial, and we are willing to do that.
Hello, sir. I actually have a question about your rap. You said step 1 would be improving education in the station, and I noticed that you said step 2 was bop-a-doop-bop-a-doop-a-bop. So I was wondering if you could elaborate.
Well, growing up in Las Vegas, I met a man who taught me a very important lesson. That sometimes when you love something so much that you don't have the words to express it,
You just gotta sing.
the best solution is to scat, man.
I was wondering what would have you said in that scenario.
Well,
Certainly wouldn't want a president to scat his way through his
well, of course, I would have said that improving education is what is going to make our country better. It's going to give our students the ability to achieve more, to reach new heights, because we produce some of the greatest minds in the world, but they are being held back by a broken system, and that we need to fix that system. And so, had I not been caught up in such a rush of love for the country, I would have expressed that more clearly for all of you.
On a more serious note, on a couple years ago,
I take my rap career very seriously, just so you know.
it's okay. This is directed towards Rand Paul. And a couple years ago, you made several comments about the Civil Rights Act, and it's an anti-discrimination law in public places, and you said that the law should not apply necessarily to private businesses, and you said furthermore that the establishment of the Civil Rights Act was a law that basically paved the way for more regulations on private businesses. What's your response to this? And I'm not sure if you have outspoken, I think that the issue with human rights and women's rights and other minorities of the U.S. is a serious problem. So, what is your response to this?
A few years ago, I did make several comments about the civil rights movement, but I then publicly apologized for these comments and stated that I was not actually against the Civil Rights Act or movement. It had been a misunderstanding. I was speaking on the regulations, of government regulations, and how the Civil Rights Act may have correlated with that, but I made a full apology, and I support the Civil Rights Act and movement in full.
All right, one final question.
All right, I have two short questions. Could I ask them both and then you just answer?
Okay.
Okay, so my first question is, you said that Senator Paul has been recognized for her opposition to the extension of the NSA mass surveillance program. She recently did a filibuster in Congress actually to stop the extension of the program, but in January, Senator Rubio said that he actually hoped that they would extend the program, and he asked Congress to permanently extend the authorities of the NSA, and I was wondering how are you going to work past your fundamental differences on that. And my second question is that recently you posted on Twitter that you said at Web Google, this sort of disgraceful defamatory behavior is just the sort of useless politic that I wish to eradicate from the country. Isn't that kind of trying to eradicate, I don't know, the speech of people who disagree with you? No.
No, that was addressing the comical picture of me with a metal pot on my head, labeled pothead. Now, this is hilarious, but I don't want our government run by comedians. I take this very seriously. The sort of useless politic that I was talking about is where, in the course of a presidential campaign, candidates fall to trying to defame one another by bringing up irrelevant pictures from their past. This picture was taken far before even my political career, far before I was even a mature adult. So, I'm sorry?
Did you inhale?
Did I inhale? If you've seen that picture, I'm not holding anything. So, yes, I was inhaling. I believe that breathing is crucial to American survival. There's really nothing I can do. So, thank you.
Wait, do you want me to answer the...
So that we can get some of that footage in, if that's possible.